Hello, Piggy. So in this video, we'll be breeding a lot of boars, and subsequently in the process, completely wreck our frame rate. But boar meat and leather scraps, which come from boars, are pretty important early game ingredients used to craft a lot of things. So it's definitely worth building a boar farm early in the game. For food, meaning like the food I feed the boars, I'm using carrots, but you can also feed them raspberries and blueberries, which should be fairly easily accessible in the early game. Right, and as long as the boars have food, they'll continue producing unlimited number of babies. So the conditions for breeding are: 1, the 2 boars are tamed; 2, the boars are next to each other; 3, there are 5 or less boars around the vicinity of the breeding boars, which is the reason why we made this contraption to bypass that limit. The boars are fed and not hungry, and you are near the boars. So you should see like heart icons sprouting from the boars when they're well fed, happy, and you're near them. And if you meet those conditions, the babies will continue to be produced. Also, you don't need to feed the boars down on the ground, just the boars, the breeding boars on the top. The materials you're going to need for this build are as follows. You're going to need 170 pieces of wood and 10 pieces of core wood. This is just for the structure, and it excludes the materials for support structures such as scaffolding and fences. So account for additional material if you need to build those. So if you've tried breeding boars in the past, you'll have noticed that there's a limit to the number of boars that you could breed. This is because Valheim has a rule that says that boars can breed if there are, I think, 5 or less boars in the vicinity. Not even just boars, I think this also applies to other animals that are breedable. So what we are going to do to work around this limitation is to locate, reposition the 2 boars, the 2 breeder boars, up high off of the ground, away from the other boars, so that the game thinks there are not that many boars around the breeder boars. Yeah, so let's get to it. Alright, first thing, let's stake down some wooden 4-meter log posts onto the ground. So I'm going to put down 3. 1, 2, 3. And the boars, the breeder boars, will be way up at the top here. Now select the 2-meter wood beam, and we want to lay down 12 of them going straight in that direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. Okay, so now we have 12 beams laid across from the pole. And at this point, go into the build menu and select the 26 degrees thatch roof. This is going to serve as a ramp up the structure. You don't want to select the 45 degrees one, because what ends up happening is that in the game, if the angle is 45 degrees or more, like, you'll slide down. So you'll only be able to climb up, walk up the 26 degrees version of the roof. So select this one, and just keep snapping it into place until it's not structurally sound anymore. Yeah, so here it's going to fall off. Right, so we want to add some support down here, so I'm going to do that. Select the 2-meter wood pole, and we want to put some support here. And then go back up the ramp and continue the process of laying down the ramp to go up the structure. So same thing, you want to keep going up until it's not structurally sound anymore. We don't need to add something right there. pick the 2-meter wood pole. So that thing's right here. So I think the 2-meter one will be too long, so I'm going to change it to the 1-meter version. Yep, okay. Now back up the ramp. And continue with the ramp. Okay, now we're at the top. So at the top, we want to build a platform. So choose the 2x2 wooden floor. And then lay down the platform like so. Then choose the 1x1 floor and then place it down like so. Next, choose the wood wall half. Make sure half of it is hanging off the edge like this, and place it down like this. Snap this into the center and close off the walls. Right. So these two compartments are where the breeder boars will be housed. Right, so when they mate, they will have a baby and it will fall through the 2 holes here and then drop down to the ground. And that's our boar farm. Yeah, so now that we have this, why don't we try to bring a boar up here. This is going to be the annoying part. It may be a good idea to maybe make another ramp on the right side so that the boars don't fall off, but let me just try it this way. See how this works out. So let me see. Okay, so I've managed to trap the boar inside this fence, and now the fun part begins, which is to push this boar up the ramp. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So just push this up. Yeah, push it up. Try sprinting. Be careful not to fall. Right, so the boar's now in this little compartment. Now select the wall, the wood wall, and then just block it off. Push it, then block it off. There you go. So what you'll notice is that his snout is gonna poke through the wooden wall here, and if you place a little food here at the bottom, you'll eat off of it. And we want to make sure that there's another boar here on the right side. Let's see if we could do that. Okay, so let's push this another one up there. Up, 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 up you go. Okay, this way. Choose the wall. Okay, let's go back. Knock it off. There you go. Alright, now that this is done, why don't we build another platform here just to make things easier for ourselves. Okay, now if you jump on top of this structure and then mouse over it, you'll see that it says boar, tame, and hungry, right? In order for the boars to breed, you need to make sure that they're not hungry. So while we're here, why don't we name the 2 boars? Let me name this Adam and name this Eve. Yep, open your inventory, choose some carrots, stack of carrots, and throw it at the boars. Just try to aim it at the center of the snout, like that. Right, and now go up the ramp. And he's happy, and they're both happy. Yeah, so they're fine. So now the boar should be breeding at this point. Hello, piggy. So the next thing is, we need to feed the boars regularly, right? In order for them to continuously breed. And how do we get up here? Do we want to keep this ugly looking ramp in our base? And I don't like it, so I think I'm going to get rid of it and find a different solution. So I'm going to break the ramp. How are we going to get up there? One idea is to place a portal. That makes it really easy, but if you're in the early game, you're not going to have access to the materials to build a portal. So choose the 2-meter wood beam and place one right exactly on top. It's not going to snap, but then rotate it one tick, it will, right? And then hold on to shift and just bring it up a little so that you could walk up the stairs. And keep repeating this process until you get to, like, right here, the top of the second wood pole. Once you get into the rhythm of things, it's not too bad. And the last one, I want to make sure that it's parallel to the platform on the top, like this, and then select the wooden board 2x2 and then lay it down like that, extend it out, right, and then select the wooden ladder, snap it to the top and one to the bottom like this. So we need to extend this one more, but if we attach one more piece to this end, it's going to break off. So let's try this out. So if I do that, yeah, it's going to break off, right? So let's add some structure so that it doesn't break off, because we need to extend that so we could climb up the ladder. So choose the 4-meter log beam and place it right here against the wooden pole. Make sure it's making contact with both the wooden pole and the platform, wooden floor at the bottom. And add another one here at the end. And at this point, you should be able to add another board here without it falling out, right? Right. And now you could walk up the platform here to feed your boars. There you go. So this is the boar farm. And like I said, you want to build a fence around this structure.